I have to make this video. Um, I just want to make a notice that I'm gonna make a new channel soon, probably for animation and anime talks and stuff like that, because I don't feel it belongs in this channel. This channel's been more focused on Nintendo, the Switch, and like video game consoles and technology as opposed to anything else. So I'm just gonna keep it like that for now, and I'm just gonna make another channel for other content, specifically animation. And so I just want to make this video announcing that I'm going to make that channel, and I want to make this video listed here in this channel for now, for other people to find the other channel. But the point is that I just watched the last Treehouse of Horror, the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode, and I must say it started out well, but that episode was atrocious. And the reason it was so bad was basically because of the last act. It was pure disturbing. Like it tried to be something, and I feel like whoever wrote it must be a disturbed person, because like it was just, it wasn't right at all. Like they tried to make fun so much about cannibalism and other things, which they've done before. They've done a whole episode where the cafeteria episode where all the students were being eaten by the teachers, and on top of that, they also made one where Homer became like had a donut head and he was eating his head. That was the donut joke, for instance. He wasn't even actually Homer anymore. He was like a donut man, so it kind of made more sense and it was funny in that sense. The cannibalism episode with the cafeteria, that was okay because it wasn't them eating themselves. It was like there was a way to defend it, and on the top of that, it ended as being a dream. But this last episode was just Homer eating himself, and that was just pure disturbing because there was nothing about it that was funny. I mean, and on top of that, there was nothing to make it lighter. Like the jokes failed in every regard just because of how disturbing the whole episode was. On top of that, it didn't go anywhere. Like it was just Homer eating himself, and no one was okay with it. And then it's just, the thing you have to realize is that this is an actual mental disorder. It actually has happened in history. There was like the German guy who ate the other guy. If you Google that up, you'll find a horrifying story. And then these things have happened, and this episode just was trying to make fun of it. And it's like if you wake up tomorrow and your family member is going through that, it's disturbing. Like it makes you really think like what's going on. Like it could have been funny had it been something else. Maybe if he had turned into like some zombie or something, or he was the donut man again or something. He was eating himself, he couldn't resist. That's different. But the fact that he was eating himself because he tasted delicious after he chopped off accidentally his finger, which was already disturbing enough, it goes to this extreme where he's just constantly eating himself. It's not funny. It looks like Homer just had some mental breakdown and then he couldn't deal with it, and they just made fun of that, and the whole episode made fun of that, and there was nothing right about it. Nothing at all. It was a serious topic, and it was too serious. It was too real as well. That's the other thing. It was just simply too real, and having Homer just chopping off his body parts and eating them like the way they did, it didn't sit right as anything else. And they trying to make fun of it, and the chef at the end deciding to cook Homer. It wasn't like some cute thing. It was like that chef murdered Homer so that he can cook him up and serve it to people. That wasn't in any way funny. It didn't even end up funny in the end. Like the whole thing about the whole community being eaten up. I read an IGN review where the guy tried to make it seem like that was kind of cute that Homer was feeding the whole society. Not even cute, but like he at least did something with himself. No, that's not all right. That was totally wrong way of that whole review. Whoever wrote that wasn't just out of his mind, I guess, because like nothing about this was good. Nothing was funny. And if you're a classic Simpsons fan and you've been watching the show all your life like I have, that was one of the worst episodes ever. I really can't wait till this show gets canceled. What I hope that happens is that this show gets canceled. Everyone that works on this show needs to get fired and removed from it because they're not doing anything good with the series anymore. And I hope the show gets rebooted with fans of the show, like actual fans that recognize what made this show so special in the past, and then just reboot the whole show, like, and start it all over again. Even if there's certain restrictions they have to follow now, seeing as they don't have supposedly any restrictions. If you look up the history, and that's why Simpsons were kind of good. Even if they have restrictions, it will be a much better show than this piece of shit that's on TV lately. This is just atrocious. It's been atrocious for years, and I cannot, like, even after the like the 10th season was the last decent season. Even that season was just bad, and it went downhill from there, and it's never picked up. I know some people like to point out that some episodes, like in season 9, really where it was where the Simpsons really lost it. But I feel there was one specific episode in season 11, which was Salsor Galactica, that just destroyed the Simpsons. And ever since then, the show has been just terrible. But this is a new low. Whoever wrote this episode is obviously some guy who does not understand the difference between something that's like something that's serious and just disgusting in a sense, and something that is funny. It could have been funny if they took certain precautions in how they wrote it, but the way they wrote it obviously shows the person has no idea, like no basis in reality when they wrote it. I would be very critical of that. And what they did, basically, you have to realize that you grew up with these characters, you know them, so it's like seeing a family member going through some mental disorder for the person experiencing this show, especially someone who's been watching it for years, seeing Homer do what he did in that episode. It wasn't scary, it was just pure disturbing. And I know some people kind of confuse those two things and think like, well, it's disturbing, so it's going to be like scary at the same time. But in this sense, it wasn't. It was just pure disturbing. It wasn't even set in a Halloween's like environment. It was all set in real life. Like there was no connections at all to Halloween in this. It was just terrible. That's the only thing I can say. I really, really, really hope better for the Simpsons. I hope that the season 30, the 30th season, may be the last, and then they just cancel the show. Maybe make a Halloween themed movie, like a Halloween special, but it's a movie or something for it to round it up to 30, and just you can even make that a movie theater movie kind of thing. But just end the series, because like if I were to rate the whole series out as a whole now, I can only give it like maybe a D- at best, because like even though the show was like A+ all through like the first few seasons, now it's not like, if I were to just average out every episode and then give you a pure average, it's like a D- show. Like most of the show has been bad at this point. It's been like 20 years of pure garbage, because the only good thing was like 10 years of it, and then the show's been on for almost 30 years. It's been just pure garbage now. And it's sad. It really is, because like all I know is like there's the Simpsons that I loved, which was the original Simpsons, and then there's this new Simpsons that keeps just going and going. I've seen some videos where people had given it some names like Zombie Simpsons and stuff, and that all that stuff. Yeah, that's true. There's a different Simpsons, but man, it's time for the show to end. I never said that to anybody, basically, because I kind of don't see that there's a need for shows to end. They don't get tired. I don't believe in that whole shows get tired because they lost new creative ideas. There's always something you can write about, and there's always jokes that you can put in. Even if they're the same old jokes, you can still do it in a refreshing new way. It's just that you lack creativity at some point. Like the Simpsons have done everything. It's hard not to imitate the Simpsons, but you see shows do it without imitating the Simpsons all the time. There's still fresh content. Fresh creative content's unlimited. There's no reason to believe that just because the show has lasted for so long that the writers ran out of ideas. It's just some cliche way of thinking. That's not the reality of it. Because they still have fresh ideas. They just don't execute them correctly, and they just execute them so badly that the show is just god awful. And this recent episode was one of the worst I've seen so far. To all those who gave it good reviews, I have no idea what you saw in that. The first two segments were okay. That last one destroyed whatever the first two were building up. The problem with the first two, though, was that there was no story. This whole episode was like, what the hell was I watching? Because like it was nothing. It was just like quirky segments that ended nowhere. And the Simpsons basically are like this because, like, especially the Treehouse of Horrors, is because there's nothing special about these episodes anymore. There used to be a time when what made them special was that they could break all the innate rules of the series. Like if a character wanted to throw another character, it was possible in the Halloween special, but it wasn't possible in the normal series, because the normal series was based on reality. That's not true anymore. The normal series is mostly a cartoon as well. So like there's nothing special about the Halloween special anymore. And all it does is it goes down these routes where it just gives you really lame stories or something really disturbing that makes no sense. And this one really, really missed the mark, I would say. That, especially that last segment, that really, really went too far. And Basically, I'm done with The Simpsons. Like, I still watch them, yeah, but I mean, I don't pay attention to them. I haven't in a long time, and I really do wish this show would end so that it would be rebooted. I don't care like about the current voice actors or anything like that. They don't do anything. They kind of sound different anyways from when they first started taking on the show, and now they're going down such a outdated route with everything. Like every joke is based on something. Like I remember I saw recently an episode where they made fun of the Pokemon intro from the '90s on a new episode. Who knows that? Who alive watches the show remembers that anymore, or even understands why they would put that? Like if it's a new person that came into the show recently, they might not have even known what that was about. It shows that the people writing the show are kind of disconnected already. They've kind of they're living in a different world. And then there's other things as well that are kind of annoying, like when they point fourth wall breaking ideas, like in this episode, Lisa says something about the fact that the middle segment is surprising that it has these great things going on or whatever. Um, I don't know since when the writers need to tell me that the middle section is like the weakest. They've been doing it already for so many Halloween specials, and I don't see why they need to tell me this. How do they know I see the same thing as they do? I don't see it as the weakest at all. Like some of my favorite Halloween Treehouse of Horror episodes were in the middle segment, like the one where Homer goes through different dimension or goes to the past with his toaster and stuff like that. I love that episode. Um, but here are the writers telling me that apparently that was the weakest episode. Why do I care? I don't care about that. Don't tell me that shit. Like that's your opinion. You should just give me what you like. You should just write to me. I don't care about your inside knowledge of the show, like your inside jokes. They're not jokes to the people not working on The Simpsons, and we're not working on it. I don't need to know that shit. Like I don't care. And it goes on and it goes on with the show. Like it just gets worse and worse with time. And it doesn't always get worse because I remember there was some seasons specifically in the I think between the 11th and 15th season that were just atrocious as well. And then it got slightly better after that, but now it's going straight downhill again. Whatever, like the show just I mean it's okay to watch, but it's nothing special, and that needs to end. I'm tired of like this show being what it is. Like I would be glad if it gets canceled and rebooted. That's what I really want. I want to see The Simpsons be revived in a better way. I'm not talking like cancel it and reboot it and give me like the new Powerpuff Girls kind of thing. Like I don't need a different kind of show. I want something more like the DuckTales kind of reboot where they rebooted the show. They gave me basically the same concept, what it originally was with a different cast and maybe some differences here and there. They really need to do this because the show's just it needs something new because like it's just the people running it right now are not doing a good job anymore. They haven't been doing a good job in a long time, and I feel like most of them like just see this as a paycheck. They just walk in, do whatever, phone it in, and walk out. It's time to end that shit. Like I don't know why Fox keeps doing it. The show has value, like the IP itself has value. Just keep it alive, but just reboot it. Just cancel what this garbage is. I don't know if they can't reboot it and that's why they keep it up, but whatever, do something because this is just bad. Like I would have like every time the voice actors threaten to drop like not go back to doing their voices unless they get paid more, I would have fired them. I don't care if that's what's holding back the show. No one cares so much. I mean, I know what some people say like the voice actors are the show. But what have these people been doing that makes the show better for the last 20 years? They haven't done anything. If anything, they continued this garbage. It doesn't seem like it met. All the characters are so different now. Like I don't know who they are anymore. Like when the show started, they were so different and so much better and so much more likable than what they've turned out to be nowadays. My favorite character is Homer, but his voice, like if you just listen to it from the beginning to the end, has changed so drastically. His mannerisms and everything that he does are completely different. I don't know if I'm gonna say that's because of the voice actor, then I don't want that voice actor anymore. Basically, um, voices can be like the voice actor itself can be the base what the character is, but at the same time I don't think they represent each other. You can replace them sometimes and it'll be better to do so. And that's not a big deal, I don't think, as much as some other people will think. Because like even when you see this show, it's been on for almost 30 years. The characters have changed so much, maybe because the personality or the voice actor has changed so much. But that doesn't mean they can't keep changing. We can change the voice actor, and then who cares? It'll change the character again, but the character has already changed so often, so why would that matter anymore? It might be a change for the better, is what I see. Because like if that is what's holding back the show, I would do it, and then I would also personally, I think the blame could be more on the writers, because like these ideas are sometimes good, but they take it in such a direction that kind of is bad almost always. There's like, oh, there's so many things that I can point out, so many flaws, and I might do another video for that. But this video is mostly just talking about some of the bad things I saw, and it's really bad. Now I may be rambling on here, but you have to understand, like I really like this show, and then now I can't even watch it because it's just become unbearable to watch. It's become something else, and it's taken a different life. Like it wouldn't affect me anymore if I'm told tomorrow the show's getting canceled, and it's gonna especially if they tell me it's gonna get canceled and rebooted. I would be applauding the reboot. I wouldn't be hoping that this continues, because this is really bad. Like if this keeps going on, it's just gonna get worse, and it's time to end it. It really is. Like I just want the show not to go away because I like these characters. So I really hope they do reboot it, but even if it goes away forever, it's much better than keeping on this legacy of making worse and worse episodes with time. I'll make another video explaining these things. I hope you guys like this video. Whatever. If you have any other comments that you would like to tell me about, like what do you think about The Simpsons and stuff, please let me know down below. I would gladly want to talk about The Simpsons with other people, because like I really don't know what the hell is going on with this show, and I would really like to know. So just leave the comments below, and I'll try to talk to you guys and see what happens, and I might make another video about it. If you like this content, please look up my other channel once it's available. Sign up, subscribe, whatever you want to do to support the channel. It'll be great. Thank you. Anyways, guys, that's all I have to say. I hope you have a good day. Signing out. Bye.